Here we are, Holden. I'm thrilled to be with you because undefeated 1-0 the Navy game. My dad went to Navy. I know we were talking about it at my home. Notre Dame Navy, of course. I was saying go Irish. What was your takeaway just from being in Ireland, first time in Europe?
I would say first and foremost, it was just a great experience. Shout out to the Irish fans for coming out there and supporting us. It was a great atmosphere to be a part of. I would say my favorite part was honestly driving into the stadium and just seeing all those fans cheering us on. And the Ireland streets had all the Notre Dame gear on, so that was cool. And then, it was a big time game for us just to start the season off the right way. We had a long summer camp, getting ready for the season, and then that was just a good reward to, start off 1-0, get a lot of points on the board. And then for myself, I thought I played pretty well in the first game of the year. So just building off that was good.
What did you like most about your game?
I would just say I felt like, I knew my job well. We had 2 weeks to really prepare for Navy, hone in on that. So I just felt confident in the game plan and my responsibility in the offense. And I just felt like I executed as well as I could. Could have been better in a few reps. But overall, I thought it was a good performance for me and just doing what I could to help the offense succeed.
So Holden, everyone, like, you look at that tight end room, it's Michael Mayer, you think, man, like, what an unbelievable player to learn from and to be with and learn around. Like, so when you think about what skills he taught you and how he, helped you kind of mold your game and to kind of prepare you for this moment right now, what comes to mind?
Yeah, definitely last year, just being a freshman and watching Mike practice every day out there in the games was a great experience for me. Definitely a blessing just seeing, probably the best side in the country last year and just taking some of the stuff he did in his game. I would say some of the biggest things he taught me was just coming to work every day and, not thinking about the previous game or the previous practice, just taking it practice by practice and letting the work speak for itself. He just was really all about just putting the work in and not thinking about the results. All that came, as a result of all the hard work he put in. And then just some of the stuff he did on the field was just really impressive to watch. And I try to just take some of the stuff he did, in the blocking game and the passing game and just incorporate it to my game as best as possible.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about the tight end room that you guys have. It's, you take just as much pride in being like basically, a six offensive lineman in addition to your route running. When you think about your game particularly, what's a big key for this season that we can kind of follow your progress in? Are you thinking like, route running, blocking, like what specifically can we kind of follow along with?
Yeah, I would say for my role in the offense, I think I need to be really good in both areas. So I think in the Navy game, I showed that a little bit. The ball didn't come our way in terms of the tight end. So, we were out there blocking as best as we could. So obviously being physical in the run game and just setting up, holes for the running backs and quarterbacks to run through. And then, once the ball does get in my hands, getting open for the quarterback and then just making a play once it's in my hands, I think I can do that really well. So then opportunity presents itself, just being ready for the moment and going out there and making plays for the team.
I'm going to be a little nerdy here. I played wide receiver back in the day, and I remember this one guy who was an NFL player. He told me, how to be deceptive in route running, because the cornerbacks are smart. They understand tape. And I saw you were making a comment recently about, learning how to be deceptive, when you're running these routes. Who do you study? How do you kind of implement the idea of deception in route running?
I would say this is kind of common answer for a tight end, but obviously Travis Kelce, George Kittle, I would say those are the two guys that I spend the most time watching. Just how unique they are in their route game, and just obviously not the fastest guys on the field. A lot of guys they're guarding are faster than him, but you just got to learn how to put your big body on their little body. Use all your weight to get off of them, and then being efficient in and out of your breaks is something that's really big in the tight end position. So just trying to get better at that day in and day out. I would say that's big in terms of route running as a tight end.
Coach Parker, now the offensive coordinator, what has that relationship been like for you now in year two as a sophomore for you?
Yeah, it's been really good for me. I would say the biggest advantage we have is just him still being a really good and really hands-on tight ends coach, but then having the offensive coordinator aspect of it, I just feel like we are a lot more prepared, going to practice every day, getting the game plans for each week for the what the game plan is for the offense. I just feel like we're kind of a step ahead just because we have him in the room and everything he's thinking, he'll just blurt it out, even if it's not related to our role as a tight end exactly. He'll just be like, oh, I got to do this for the offense, and then we'll hear it. So we just feel a lot more prepared going to practice every day. And then with that, him being the tight ends coach and the offensive coordinator, that just puts a little bit more light on us because, we're under his wing. So that just puts pressure on us to be the best we can be, go out there and just, make plays holistically for the offense.
Some of the great tight ends that come through Notre Dame, I love Tyler Eifert, like Kyle Rudolph. I mean, the list just goes on. It's a pretty great list. What do you think is, if you can kind of pin it down, what is that Notre Dame tight end? What are the characteristics that, hey, like that's a Notre Dame tight end guy?
I would say it starts off the field, just all the preparation that goes into, getting out here on the field, but just, being a leader first and foremost as a tight end. You're with the offensive line, so those big guys up front, and then just carrying that over to the receivers, just being a leader, being in the weight room. You got to get stronger because, sometimes you can block a really big defensive end. You're blocking a lot of linebackers when you're pulling and stuff like that. So you have to take care of that aspect, and then just knowing the ins and outs of the offense because, like I said, you're blocking, you're catching passes. You got to know the whole route tree and all that. So that's a big part. And then once you get on the field, I would just say being a tight end at Notre Dame just means, being – a jack of all trades. You can do anything they're asked of you, and then just being, dominant on the field. Once the ball gets in their hands, make a play, and that's why you come here. As a tight end in Notre Dame, the focus is going to be on you. If you do what you're supposed to do, all goes well. You can get to the NFL. So I would say that's the biggest thing, being tight end at Notre Dame.
You mentioned the gym. I got to ask about the workout routine. Let's talk about it. Up 20 pounds. Like Coach Bayless, I don't know if you're into basketball, but Coach Popovich at the Hall of Fame thing for the Spurs, was saying that the pieces that have been there for the entire way were, R.C. Buford, the ownership, and he mentioned the strength coach. How has Coach Bayless helped you evolve?
Yeah, he helped me a ton. Coming into Notre Dame, I was always big into working out, but I was just kind of doing my own stuff. We had a really good program in high school, but nothing structured to like, okay, coming in, how do I need to get my body right to be a college Division I tight end? So once I here, he just showed me what that looked like. Obviously, I had great leadership in my own tight end room, just seeing the older guys and what, their body was, and just knowing that I had to get there eventually. So I came in and I was determined to do that the first summer that I got here. Coach Bayless was hard on me. He saw potential in me. So he invested a lot in me. And then just, being, just being very focused on, the weight room, eating right, and just having all that payoff. So, yeah.
What is can you unravel the curtain a little bit? What exactly is the diet of coming? You're 242 pounds, you're strong as an ox and move like a deer. So like, what are you eating, man? Can you just like walk me through, like, are you cooking or like, what do you like to eat?
I would say breakfast, I do like 5 eggs, like to do some oatmeal with that, some bacon. Lunch or before lunch, you got to get an Uncrustable in there. And then lunch, usually do maybe like some Chick-fil-A, something like that. And then first dinner, which is at like 5, probably do some pasta. And then second dinner, definitely like some steak, something like that. Chipotle, can't go wrong with Chipotle. So I try to do 4 meals a day. First dinner at 5, second dinner at 9. So, yeah.
Wow, first and second dinner. I've never heard that before. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about campus life. During this podcast, we like to kind of, talk about the humanity, of the guys that we see every Saturday. What are you studying? What do you love about your classes this fall?
Yeah, so I'm a film television major. I'm a sophomore at Notre Dame. So last year I was kind of just taking all the core classes that you have to take as a freshman, but now I'm kind of starting to get into the core classes of my major, which has been cool the first 2 weeks of school. So those classes are ethics and journalism, broadcasting the news, which is kind of my main focus. I'm kind of interested in the broadcasting element of TV. So getting into that one day. And then another one I'm just taking is just intro to television. But yeah, so definitely excited to, have this conversation with you because this is something I'm interested in down the road. So yeah, that's a big part of what's going on right now for me academics wise.
On the sports side, on the news side, television game shows, like what kind of TV?
The athlete part of me wants to say sports, but I feel like I could do both. Coming from Atlanta, I knew some sports broadcasters that were on Channel 2 Action News, so I've seen kind of the news side as well. I think that's pretty cool. So I feel like I could do both, but right now I'll say sports.
Have you ever done any like TV stuff or like calling stuff, social media type of stuff before?
I did a little bit in high school. We had a broadcasting, online service that we had, so we were pretty good in high school. So I did a few things when I wasn't on the field. But yeah, definitely want to explore it more.
Wow, well, that's fantastic, man. So tell me about these Notre Dame traditions, because everyone has one that they love. It's like their thing, and they're like, man, that's Notre Dame to me. It's so special. Mm-hmm. What's yours?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's definitely going to the grotto. It's just a peaceful atmosphere. Getting out there on the lake that's right across the street. They just got a new fountain, so that's just really nice. Over the summer, I went there a lot. After we would do fellowship, I would drive down there, and I would either, call my girlfriend, call my mom, something like that, just spend time out there. And then after that, I would just go across the street and just, kind of be at peace with myself for a few minutes, send a prayer up, and just kind of think about to myself what I want to accomplish for the week. And then, just kind of light the candle, walk away, and then you just kind of know that, God's got your back after that. So, yeah, definitely a good tradition at Notre Dame for sure.
Yeah, man. You just something about the grotto. Once it's irreplaceable. That's all I have to say. Just enjoy it. Enjoy. Light a candle for me. So the last question I have for you is, when you think about this upcoming week, Tennessee State, first time Notre Dame's ever played in HBCU. What are you looking forward to in preparation this week for this game, home opener?
Yeah, I'm super excited. So many people in my family went to HBCUs. My mom, my aunt, and uncles went to Spelman College, Xavier, Jackson State. So I know the HBCU tradition. I know what it means. So I'm just excited to have, the marching band come up. I don't know if I'll get to see them at halftime since we'll be in the locker room, but I just know we'll feel the atmosphere. I'm super excited. All my family's coming up just because they're excited about the game as well. So I can't wait. It's the home opener. We're coming off a really big win last week. So I just feel like the atmosphere of the stadium is just going to be electric. And I just can't wait. I think it's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. So I'm really excited for Saturday.
You and me both. Thank you so much, and best luck to you, Holden.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.